Sadly today, with the new truck driver training rush through the class style, drivers don't have the chance to really learn the knowledge they need and the experience they need to be comfortable in the industry and to be confident with the truck that they're going to be driving. They're rushed through school and they leave school unconfident, and unprepared for driving a great big vehicle in all types of conditions where they may or they may not fully understand what it takes to control those vehicles. The Commercial Carrier Journal recently did a survey of all American truck drivers and found that 55% of those drivers were unhappy with the job. GP Transco ran the same survey among their drivers, found that over 80% of their drivers were happy with their job, and over 95% of their drivers felt that GP Transco respected them. If you're looking for a great job, GP Transco at gptransco.com. Confidence is everything, or a big chunk of it. Now, false confidence can be deadly because you can't underestimate the damage this vehicle will do. So you've got to understand what it is you're driving, and you've got to understand what it is you're into. Now, new truck drivers have a hard enough time. They've got their hands full just with learning to operate the equipment safely. And they've got their hands full with just learning to get comfortable with the job, being away from home, and the long hours that entails. And new truck drivers need to be totally focused on that to build their confidence level. But sadly, the industry is full of scams, and some trucking companies like to take advantage of new drivers that are unprepared and don't have a confidence level built up yet. Mega carriers love new drivers because they can manipulate them and then scam them. New drivers have enough of a problem just keeping track of what they're doing, getting good at their job, getting good at the driving, which is what they're supposed to be doing, without having to worry about lease payments and leasing a truck and operating a truck, because operating a truck is operating a business, and that's a whole new ball game. So I fully believe that new drivers into the industry should take the time and go slowly and build the confidence and build the skill levels that you'll require to be really good at your job, to be a really good driver, because that's what it's truly all about. You want to be good at what you do, you want to be safe at what you do, because carriers will always want good, safe, confident drivers. Now, after a few years of experience driving a truck or driving a company truck, some guys may want to go out and buy their own truck, and that's okay. But you've just got to be aware that that's a whole different ball game than driving, because you're operating a business, and there's no coming back after you buy a truck. You can't be changing your mind and saying, oh, it's not working out for me, because if you step away from the truck after you've bought it, you're in for a canoe full of bills and a financial nightmare of an experience. So my suggestion to you is, as new truck drivers, develop your driving skills, develop your confidence, work on that, and then later on, if you decide you want to have a truck, well, then you look at that separately. But and bear this in mind too. I have known, in my 40+ years in truck driving, I have known an awful lot of truck drivers, and I've never known any company drivers that ever went broke, but I've known all sorts of owner-operators and lease operators that did. Being good at driving is not the same as being a good owner-operator. So take the time, build your skills, build your confidence level, and then look at moving forward. But for the new guys, one step at a time. Get your confidence up there first. Let me address something too that I wanted to say. A lot of new truck drivers coming into the industry are worried that the electronic autonomous trucks will, in a few years, take over, and they'll lose their jobs, and they'll be wasting all this time and training for nothing, just to lose a career in a couple of years. That is not the case. Let me tell you why. I had a story that happened to me this week that illustrated how far away we are from autonomous electronic vehicles. I was coming out of the hardware store, and I was about to get into my vehicle, and a brand new little Tesla parked in front of me. The guy put his window down. He says, hey, can you help me? He says, do you know where there's a charging station around here for these Teslas? And he had an address. And I thought about it for a minute and went, oh yeah, I know where that is. And gave him directions on how to get to this charging station. And he started telling me his story. He was transporting a brand new Tesla from Saskatoon about 2,500 miles towards Kitchener-Waterloo, where the one dealership had sold the car to another dealership. This guy was just the transporting driver. He said, they told me when I got in this car in Saskatoon, it was good for 392 miles between charges. He said it's not. He said, I'm lucky if I've been getting 200 miles per charge. He said, I've been hopscotching from Saskatchewan for days, having to charge every 200 miles at a few hours a time at a charge. He says, I'm days behind because the battery just doesn't run me as far as they said it would. So here's the reality of electric vehicles all of a sudden. They're advertising that they can go a certain distance, but in reality they can't. They're not there yet. This is just with the cars. So you can imagine how far behind the big trucks are. Don't worry, new drivers. You've got lots of time in this industry to build your skills and build your confidence and have a full career, a fulfilling career, because your job's not going anywhere, not in this generation. Take care, stay safe, keep the rubber side down, hone your skills, and we'll see you on the back home.